Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Checking back in on the market, so we had a quick drop to start the morning. We got right down close to our support, pretty much within 1% of that August low, and we had multiple supports lining up. We bounced in a significant way. It was a V-shaped recovery, the 5-minute time frame. So there's your 10-minute dump on huge volume. There's your climax. There's a solid bounce. Normally, we anticipate an equilibrium to form there. As soon as we change that 5-minute trend, that is a very bullish signal. And that tells me that the low of the day has very likely been set at that point. V-shaped recovery for that bounce. So as soon as the bulls broke 287.76, that's the go signal. If you wanted to be a little bit more cautious, it's 288.33. Unfortunately, I didn't get any of this bounce as I was traveling today. Wasn't able to sit and watch the open, but that's all right. There's always another trade, so not bumming about it. But what we're going to get is a whole bunch of information over the next couple of trading days. So we have some Fed members speaking tomorrow. I have to double check and see exactly who. We're going to close out the week. Have to see a green day tomorrow if we're going to look to stay in our weekly tightening range. So high, low, lower high. The question, is this our higher low? One day of bounce is not enough. We certainly need more than that. The hourly time frame, we had a higher low established at the end of the day at 289.09. We closed strong up near the high of the day, and we need more. We have to create as much space as possible for the bulls to change the daily trend. Wherever we top out, we then have to hold a higher low and then a higher high. If we change this daily trend next week, we will be looking for this weekly equilibrium to continue playing out through mid-October. So bulls, green day is the goal for tomorrow. Short-term resistance is 291.51. After that is a gap at 293. And the question is, how long can the bulls keep the uptrend in their favor? Best case for the bulls, should say keep the hourly uptrend. Best case for the bulls is hold 289.09 all day tomorrow to leave no doubt that the bulls are keeping their strength. If we break that level, then we have to start being a little bit cautious, because if this is just a daily lower high, it's entirely possible if we don't get much follow through tomorrow, and if we don't get up over, let's say 291 on this bounce, it's very easy to set a daily lower high and then roll over and head back to those August lows. RSI has cooled off. This 4-hour RSI that we were watching from the last video dropped down to about 23 or so. But again, all RSI levels are now cooled off, and that opens the door where if the bears show up tomorrow and stifle this bounce, we can absolutely see these August lows break. Tomorrow's a very important day, perhaps the most important day for me personally, just looking at this weekly chart. Again, one day, tomorrow is not going to make this weekly chart, but it's going to move that probability needle a good bit, judging by how much follow through we see. So we have a similar candlestick on most names. IWM, 144.25 was that low. We got real close to that, much less than 1% distance before that bounce. Anything under 153.35 is just a lower high on the daily, hourly time frame. Little end of the day support, but bulls need follow through tomorrow. QQQ, same thing, held the August lows. Short-term resistance after the high of today will be 187.20. Anything under 190.59 is a daily lower high, and we need follow-through. XLF, weekly higher low still. Need follow-through. First resistance would be 27.25. Do we have a little hourly higher low established? End of the day, we bounced off 26.80. So some names, it's a more clear support level at the end of the day than others, but pretty much everybody saw a little afternoon support established before an end of the day continuation bounce move. XBI had that candlestick yesterday. It's one step ahead of everybody else. We already got our confirmation day. Every single name that we just looked at wants this to be the candlestick tomorrow for whatever individual name we're looking at. So the biotech sector oversold bounce. Short-term resistance is 77.64. We already lost support, so we are just looking for a daily lower high. If we change the daily trend, we'll just be looking for a weekly lower high compared to 84.12. So we're coming from a more bearish standpoint, but a very impressive bounce at this point. And with the leveraged ETFs, they're now up. LABU is up 15% in 2 days. So again, even if you're not nailing the bottom and the top of this bounce, lots of opportunity there for the biotech bulls. And we've got the healthcare sector dropping to that lower low on the weekly into a bounce with the market. Anything under 90.68 is just a lower high on the daily chart, but a nice close up at the high of the day. And the VIX, a double top. So 2160 did not break. We topped out at 2150 and 2140, and now we're pulling back. Anything above 1580 is a daily higher low, keeping the stair steps in favor of these bulls. So again, it's entirely possible we just pull back, form a higher low, and then break resistance. And I'm sure on social media you're going to see a ton of posts with people talking about this being a cup and handle pattern. That's a possibility. If it were going to be a cup and handle pattern, we would anticipate bear flags on all of these bounces, with maybe a bull break over the high of today first thing tomorrow, and then profit taking all day tomorrow. Then we have bear flag setups. Gold follow through, but just looking for a daily lower high compared to 1535. So have we lost the 4-hour uptrend? The answer is not yet. If we drop down and break 1495, then the odds of our daily lower high being set will increase significantly, and we'll look for a higher low compared to 1458. Silver's the same thing. Lower high on the daily, didn't get as close to resistance, and we're looking down at 1687 as support that has to hold. Much weaker bounce just visually on silver than on gold. Bull miners did get follow through, but again, closed at the low of the day. This looks like a bear flag. Anything under 38.18 was a lower high. We have a double bottom down at 28.11, and actually it's dropped all the way down to 27.22, 27.30, so a little double bottom the last 2 days. Again, we're watching GDX. It doesn't have that time decay, and I just got confused because of that, where if you look at NUGT, we dropped to a lower low here by about 3.5%. And if you look at GDX, we didn't. We only dropped to a lower low by 9 cents, which is more like 0.4% or so. So a daily lower high, and we're headed back down to test that base of support in the miners. The more bounce we get in the markets, the more pullback we're going to look for in the metals and in the miners. So key tomorrow for these names as well. Oil still in a downtrend. It's a lower wick, trying to see a daily bounce finally take place. But what's the 4-hour doing? Nothing. Not yet. Anything under 52.91 is a 4-hour lower high. We have the 4-hour exponential resistance as a guide still intact. Yes, it's a significant bounce, but we have to see a 4-hour trend change. If we do, we zoom out and we'll look for a daily lower high, because pretty much anything under 63.33 is a daily lower high. We haven't even seen any kind of bounce attempt since that Iran top. Natural gas got its bounce going. It was one of those fake outs where we were very beat up. The initial reaction to the inventory report was bearish for all of 1 or 2 minutes, and then the bulls just ripped, and that was the bottom. So the 4-hour time frame, all RSI levels are cooling off. We haven't changed the trend because this move is coming straight off the low. But again, leveraged ETF, 15% move in 1 day today from the low to the high. We are just looking for a daily lower high to be set, so you better believe that there's bears scouting weakness in natural gas to be looking for an entry in DGAS. DGAS has been strong lately. It's pulling back. This was very overdue. We pretty much just ran straight up 84%, and now we're going to look to pull back and form a daily higher low. And it's worth watching for natural gas to lose. If you want to be aggressive as a bear, you're going to act when we lose the hourly uptrend. If you want to be more patient, you're going to act when we lose the 4-hour uptrend, which we're not even in a 4-hour uptrend at this point. We're not even an hour. We haven't even changed the hourly trend. So this is all an impulse move off of that inventory report. We have to change the hourly trend to give us a support level to play off of. If we were to start green tomorrow or overnight tonight and not see any significant 4-hour consolidation, I will be keeping an eye out for the potential of a bearish entry tomorrow for a day trade. But that's only if we see continuation and no consolidation overnight tonight. So determine what you want to play. If you missed the bounce and you are looking for a daily lower high, patiently scouting for that lower high to be set. So that's where we stand in the market as a whole. Again, pretty important day tomorrow as far as what can the bulls prove to us on this bounce. Can we see follow through? Can we create space for a daily higher low to form once we do top out on this bounce? And most importantly, can we stay in the weekly equilibrium and tightening range for another week or two? Stay tuned. We'll see you over the weekend. Hope you have a good night. Do good things out there.
Oh, I just saw a dragonfly snatch a moth out of the air.
Nice.
And he has him right now. See him? That is nuts.
That one?
So yeah, the one